I drove 5 hours with my daughter to surprise him. But the moment he saw me, his eyes were filled with shock, not joy. That's when I knew he had been cheating on me. Later, I asked him, "Were you heartbroken that I was exhausted from driving 5 hours? Or were you just scared your new fling might see me and our daughter?" Chapter 1. Eric was cheating. The moment he saw me and our daughter, his expression said it all: surprise, but not a trace of happiness. I knew I'd been betrayed. His coworkers also looked awkward, clearly unsure whether to greet me or run. They gave me forced smiles and quickly walked away. Eric finally recovered from the shock, walked over, took our daughter from me, put his arm around my shoulders, and tried to act surprised. "You came all of a sudden," he said. I didn't respond. I just numbly followed him toward the car. Our daughter was thrilled to see her dad. She hugged his neck and pressed her face against his, excitedly telling him about what had happened at kindergarten. Looking at their faces, almost mirror images, I felt a sharp pain in my chest. To keep her from noticing anything was wrong, I turned my head and stared out the window, pretending to enjoy the scenery. They chatted the whole way, cheerful and lively. I stayed silent. When Eric asked where we should eat, I didn't even bother to answer. Chapter 2. After finally getting to Eric's place, I had our daughter watch some TV, then followed him into the bedroom. "Give me your phone." "What's wrong?" Eric smiled and reached out to hug me, but I pushed him away. I stared him down until he gave in and handed me the phone. The password was still our wedding anniversary. How ironic. I unlocked it, opened WeChat, and using pure intuition, quickly found someone named Diana among all the chats. She was his co-worker. Their latest messages were from just 40 minutes ago. Diana wrote, "I'll be working late tonight. When you pick me up, can you bring some snacks too? I'm craving those soup dumplings from South Street." Eric replied, "Greedy little cat." I scrolled further up and saw they chatted every single day. All those days Eric claimed to be so busy he couldn't even eat. He was chatting with Diana, sharing his daily life, and they worked at the same company. Chapter 3. Eric and I dated for 3.5 years and have been married for 6. We have a beautiful 5-year-old daughter. 2 years ago, for his career, Eric moved here. He told me that once things stabilized, he would bring me and our daughter over. I believed him. I took care of our daughter alone, never complained, no matter how hard it got. But those chat logs told me the truth. The night both my daughter and I had a fever, Eric said he was busy, but he was celebrating Diana's birthday. When I got into a car accident and broke my leg, and our daughter had a parent-teacher meeting, Eric said he couldn't make it, but he was on a weekend getaway with Diana. On Valentine's Day, he sent me a simple 520. To Diana, he sent 1314, so he wanted forever with her? Then what did that make me? Before reading those messages, I had never suspected Eric of cheating. I believed everything he did was for our family. I thought he would always be faithful to our marriage. But clearly, no woman walks out of her husband's phone unscathed. Each message between him and Diana was a knife to my heart. The pain was overwhelming, drowning me. My face turned pale. My vision darkened. Eric caught me as I swayed, his voice hoarse and guilty. "Honey, I'm sorry. I swear, we never crossed the line." By crossed the line, do you mean sleeping together? We didn't. So, in your mind, that means you did nothing wrong? Chapter 4. Whatever Eric's answer was, it didn't matter to me anymore. I handed the phone back to him, walked out of the bedroom, and said to my daughter, "Sophia, we're going home now." She blinked in confusion. "Mommy, why so soon? Didn't you say we'd spend the weekend with Daddy?" "Something urgent came up. Mommy has to go deal with it. We'll visit Daddy next time, okay?" As I carried her out, she was still dazed, but seeing my expression, she didn't dare ask more. Eric rushed after us and grabbed my arm. "You're already here. Why not stay until the weekend's over?" No, he and Diana had already made camping plans for the weekend. I didn't want to get in their way. "Come back Monday to settle everything that needs to be settled." I didn't say the word divorce in front of my daughter, but Eric understood. He held on tighter. "You just drove 5 hours. If you drive another 5 hours back, your body won't take it." He still cares about my health? Back when he saw us show up, Was he worried I was too exhausted from the drive, or just afraid Diana would see us? As we stood locked in silence, the front door suddenly opened. It was Diana. She let herself in using the fingerprint scanner. Eric. She froze when she saw me. Chapter 5. The moment I saw Diana, my mind went blank for a few seconds. Then Eric's words came back to me. We didn't cross the line. Really? An ordinary coworker can unlock your front door with her fingerprint? As I turned to Eric with a sarcastic stare, an even bigger blow hit me. My daughter, Sophia, recognized her. She cheerfully greeted her. Hi, Diana. Diana's face stiffened with awkwardness, but her eyes were full of provocation. In her chat with Eric, she said she had to work late tonight, yet here she was. Clearly, she showed up on purpose. Then she said to Eric, I called but you didn't answer. I was worried something happened, so I came over. Eric didn't bother explaining. He only said, you should go. But Diana hesitated, then dropped a bomb. Well, since I'm already here, can't I join you for dinner? I'm sure your wife and Sophia won't mind, right? Eric's face darkened instantly. He looked furious. I had no interest in watching them act out their drama in front of me. I pried Eric's hand off and walked straight out the door. Chapter 6. In the elevator, Sophia wrapped her arms around my neck and asked cautiously, Mommy, do you not like Miss Diana? Suppressing the ache in my heart, I asked in a calm tone. Why do you ask? Are you close with Miss Diana? Sophia nodded. One time Daddy was busy with work, so I stayed with Miss Diana. She even made me a sandwich. When was that? Last school break. Then why didn't you tell Mommy? Sophia paused before answering. Sorry, Mommy. I forgot. I didn't think she forgot. Eric must have told her not to mention Diana in front of me. Until today, I never asked Sophia whether any other woman had been around Eric. I never imagined he would cheat, and I didn't want to taint our daughter's heart. A truth I could have uncovered with a single question. Instead, I wore that invisible betrayal for so long like a fool. I felt like a joke. Chapter 7. When I started the car, I noticed my hands were trembling, my vision blurred with tears. Sophia, probably not ready to say goodbye to her dad, sat in the backseat and whispered, Mommy, are we really leaving now? I miss Daddy. I couldn't speak. My throat was too tight. Emotions stacked on top of each other. I knew if I opened my mouth, all that would come out was sobbing. Then Eric suddenly appeared in front of the car, standing stiffly, blocking my way. He mouthed, Get out of the car. Sophia spoke again. Mommy, Daddy's here. Can we stay, please? He knew our daughter didn't understand anything, and yet he still deliberately blocked the car. If I forced my way out now, Sophia would think I was the one throwing a tantrum. Even though he was the one who cheated, he still wanted to make me look like the villain. I looked down and, with shaking hands, typed 2 words to him on my phone. Get lost. Chapter 8. But Eric still refused to move. After a few minutes of deadlock, I caught sight of something in the rearview mirror. Sophia was wiping away tears. She missed her dad. She didn't want to leave. And it crushed me. Ever since she was old enough to remember, Sophia hadn't spent much time with Eric. The reason she loved him so much, aside from blood ties, was because I constantly praised him in front of her, telling her what a great dad he was, so often that it became a core memory. But was he really a great dad? When I had a broken leg and had to use crutches to get around, he was off vacationing with another woman. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I collapsed over the steering wheel and sobbed uncontrollably. Seeing this, Eric rushed over and opened the car door. You can't drive like this. Just come back with me for now. I refused. No matter what. I didn't want to step foot in his home again. That place was probably filled with Diana's presence. Them cuddling on the couch, giggling while cooking together in the kitchen, whispering and kissing in the bedroom. Disgusting images flashed through my mind, forming a suffocating web that trapped me. I couldn't breathe. Chapter 9. In the end, Eric and I each compromised a little. I didn't go back home, and he didn't force me to stay at his place. We booked a family suite. I slept with our daughter. He slept alone. After our daughter fell asleep, Eric wanted to talk. I refused. I didn't want to hear a single one of his lies. I just wanted to get through the night and leave as soon as possible. I didn't know anyone here. If something happened, I'd have no one to turn to. What I didn't expect was to wake up the next morning and find both Eric's parents and mine had arrived. They all believed Eric's one-sided version of the story. They said he simply lacked boundaries, but hadn't truly cheated. They urged me to think of the child and stop making a scene over a divorce. That Eric's parents sided with him didn't surprise me. What broke my heart was that my parents sided with him too. Chapter 10. They didn't understand how I felt, and even had the nerve to blame me for being too emotional. My mom pulled me aside. Even though she spoke in a low voice, the dissatisfaction was clear. Eric told us everything. Yes, he crossed a line. But this isn't serious enough for divorce. He promised us he'd never contact that woman again. This isn't about contact. His heart isn't with me anymore. Seeing I wouldn't budge, my mom rolled her eyes. You have to hold a man's heart yourself. If you can't, then just turn a blind eye. I couldn't believe those words came from my own mother, another woman. And she knew Sophia was my weakness. She didn't hesitate to use it against me. If you divorce, can you win custody of Sophia? You know what they say, if there's a stepmother, there'll be a stepfather too. Can you trust Eric with her? Even if you win custody, how will you raise her while working full-time? You'll still need our help. Your father and I are getting old. Stop making things hard for us. That speech pushed me straight into a corner. Eric and his parents, too, made it clear they would never give up custody of Sophia. But am I supposed to stay trapped in a broken marriage forever? I refused to accept that. Chapter 11. Before I got married, I had a promising career. Eric and I went to the same university. We had equal qualifications, equal capabilities. If I hadn't given everything up for the family and our child, I'd be just like him now, thriving at work. Now look at me. All the sacrifices I made have become weapons used against me. Because I don't have income, I don't stand a chance at custody, even after cheating. Eric could casually say, "It won't happen again. Let's just forget it ever did." My parents think I'm overreacting. My daughter is completely unaware. Only I suffer in silence, day and night. In just half a month, I've lost 20 pounds. Chapter 12. Just when everyone thought I had given in, I quietly hired a lawyer and a private investigator with the help of my best friend. For 6 months, I gathered evidence. Turns out, Eric only kept his distance from Diana in that very first month. After that, knowing I was a stay-at-home mom with no income, he got bolder, using every excuse to meet up with her. At first, he thought I didn't know. Later, he figured I wouldn't dare speak up. After all, both sides of the family were on his side, and I, a housewife with no job, was in no position to challenge him. But thank God for my best friend Camila. When she found out about the affair, she didn't tell me to tolerate it like everyone else. She didn't push me to divorce impulsively either. Instead, she walked me through it, step by step, analyzing what was best for me. A rotten marriage should be cut off in time. No matter how much has been invested, you have to let go. There's still a long life ahead. You can't spend it slowly dying, watching yourself wither day after day. Chapter 13. After the lawyer confirmed that the evidence was solid and I could confront Eric, I asked my daughter, "Sophia, if mommy and daddy separate, who would you want to live with?" Sophia looked at me quietly for a moment, then answered clearly, "Mommy, I want to stay with you." "Why?" I asked. "Because grandma and grandpa, and nana and papa, all like daddy a lot. Mommy's all alone. If I stay with you, you won't be lonely." That answer was something I had never even considered. The emotional impact hit far beyond what I could handle. The tears burst out uncontrollably. Sophia reached up with her tiny hand to wipe them away, and tried to wrap her short arms around me. "Mommy, if you're sad again, you have to tell me, okay? I can tell you stories. That night when I went to the bathroom, I saw you crying. Daddy never comes to see us. He's a big meanie." I thought she didn't understand anything, but it turns out she saw everything. She was just too little to know how to comfort me. Chapter 14. In the middle of the night, Sophia was sound asleep. I picked up my phone and called Eric. It rang many times before someone finally picked up. Diana's voice came through. "Sis, It's the company dinner tonight. We're still out. Put Eric on the phone. He drank too much. If he's not dead. Hand him the phone. Diana hesitated. Then Eric took over the call. Babe, don't misunderstand. It was a big group dinner. You don't need to explain. I sent the divorce papers to your email. Review them. If you're okay with it, come home and we'll sign. Eric went silent for a second, then exploded. Lisa, are you serious right now? Again with this divorce crap? You really think I'm afraid to leave you? Fine. Let's do it. But don't even think about taking Sophia. You'll never see her again. Chapter 15. I didn't know whether Eric had read the divorce agreement. The next morning, after dropping Sophia off at preschool, I returned home to find him already there, unshaven, bloodshot eyes. He said, Babe, I came back the moment I got your call. Last night wasn't what you think. Let's go to the Civil Affairs Bureau. I cut off his lies coldly, turned around, and went to get our marriage certificate and household registration. When I came back out, Eric grabbed my arm and slammed me against the wall, his eyes wild with rage. Lisa, I'm giving you one last chance. Are you really sure about the divorce? Yes. Fine. He shoved me away and sat down on the couch, sneering. If you insist on this, you're getting nothing. Not a cent from this house. Sophia's custody goes to me. You want the divorce? Leave with nothing. I nearly laughed. On what grounds? You cheated, and I'm supposed to leave empty-handed? Who said I cheated? You got proof? I stepped closer, leaning slightly toward the man I'd loved for 10 years. 10 years, and he still didn't know me at all. My heart still ached, but reason had taken over. I said quietly, Eric, you really underestimated me. Everything you did these past 6 months, I know it better than you do. Chapter 16. Eric froze for a second, then erupted. You followed me? That's impossible. You have to take care of Sophia every day. You don't have the time. See? Deep down, he knew. He knew I had to take care of our daughter every single day. He knew I was exhausted. All those days he claimed to be too busy, they were just lies to brush me off. Once Eric realized I had proof of his affair, he completely dropped the act. So what if you can prove I cheated? That doesn't mean I can't raise a child. I can give Sophia a better life. You're just a stay-at-home mom with no income. It's true that 6 months ago, I had no income and depended on him. But if he could stop loving me, why couldn't I start earning again? Once a person makes up their mind, all obstacles become conquerable. I was lucky. After being betrayed in marriage, I returned to the workforce and met someone who truly helped me. They gave me full flexibility, even allowed me to work from home, as long as I got things done. After 3 months of adapting, our cooperation became smooth and fulfilling. I only felt sorry for my daughter. If this really went to court, and Sophia had to make a choice, just imagining it made me tremble. Eric, do you not care at all about Sophia's feelings? He sneered and stepped closer. It's not that I don't care about Sophia. It's you, the ungrateful mother, who insists on divorce. He threw all the blame at me in a fit of rage, then slammed the door and left. I stood by the window and looked down. Diana was waiting by the car. No wonder he got back so fast. Even drunk, someone had driven him. Ridiculous. Does Diana even know he refuses to divorce me? Probably not. Eric likely tells one story to my face and another to hers. Luckily, I've already decided to walk away. Otherwise, a life like this would have driven me mad sooner or later. Chapter 17. Since Eric refused an amicable divorce, I had no choice but to file a lawsuit. I prepared myself for a long, drawn-out battle, but even so, I still underestimated the shamelessness of Eric and his family. His mother asked to meet, accidentally spilled coffee all over my phone, while it was water damaged and wouldn't turn on. Eric took the opportunity to pick up Sophia from school and hide her. He knew perfectly well that for the past 2 years, I had raised Sophia alone. We depended on each other. I called him, he didn't answer. Instead, he sent me a single WeChat message. Either keep living as a family, or get divorced and never see Sophia again. Your choice. I happened to be with Camila at the time. She saw the message and exploded. What a worthless piece of trash. He's actually using Sophia to threaten you? Scum! She was absolutely right. At that moment, I had no choice but to admit, the man I had loved for 10 years was a despicable coward. If murder were legal, I'd grab a knife and chop Eric into pieces right now. But I couldn't. I had to force myself to stay calm. Chapter 18. That night, Eric sent me a video, a clip of him and his family having a cheerful, cozy time with Sophia. Your parents don't support the divorce. Can Sophia ever be this happy if she stays with you? As a mother, being selfish and doing as you please, have you ever thought about Sophia's future? I'm willing to cut ties with Diana, as long as you promise we'll move on and live peacefully again. What Eric didn't know was that I had Diana added on WeChat. And Diana, of course, wouldn't miss such a great chance to show off. She posted a photo taken in Eric's bedroom to her moments. In the blurred background, you could still make out the wedding photo of Eric and me hanging over the bed. She probably said it so only I could see it. It's bad enough that Eric is shameless, but what about his parents? We weren't even legally divorced, and they already let Diana move in? Did they really think such dirty tactics would make me back down? And what about Sophia? She's so young, so clueless. Have they already brainwashed her too? Has she missed me at all? Or has she already forgotten me? My whole body trembled with pain. Then I heard something. It took a moment to realize it was the sound of my heart breaking. Life feels pointless. A husband's betrayal. Parents who don't understand. A future that looks pitch black. As I drifted in and out of consciousness, memories of being in love with Eric flashed before my eyes. All those vows, those promises, now just dust in the wind. Chapter 19. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. Camila looked shaken. You scared the hell out of me. You had a 39.8 degrees Celsius fever. If I hadn't found you in time, you might have burned your brain. I gave her a weak, apologetic smile. Her eyes instantly turned red. She choked up and said, when Sophia was with you, you held it together for her. But now that Eric's hiding her away, that string in your heart finally snapped. No wonder you collapsed. I couldn't even speak. My body ached, but my heart hurt more. No point in sobbing out loud. Then Camila told me, I've already found out where Eric is hiding Sophia. Get better soon. Don't let her come home only to take care of you. Really? Camila gave me a side glance. You think I'd lie to you? Thank you. Chapter 20. Before seeing Sophia again, I had always believed she'd want to come home with me. But when we finally met, she shook her head. Mommy, I'm doing fine here with Daddy. I don't want to go back with you right now. It felt like lightning struck me from above. I stood there frozen, completely stunned. Camila rushed forward, flustered. Sophia, your mom is sick and came all this way to get you. Be good and come with us. Sophia shook her head again and looked at me. Mommy, if you're sick, you should rest. I'll take care of myself. She was calm, frighteningly so, and distant. I tried to step forward to hug her, but just then, Eric's parents spotted us and came running. His mother shoved me hard. I fell to the ground, seeing stars. Mommy, I heard Sophia call me softly, but when I looked up, she was already being carried back inside by Eric's mom. His father shouted at Camila and me, cursing us, even threatening to call the police. Camila snapped. Go ahead. Call them. Let's see what the cops say when they hear you're hiding a child. They kept arguing, but I didn't even have the strength to get up. My whole body was soaked in cold sweat. Camila noticed I wasn't right. She dropped the fight, helped me to the car, and drove straight to the hospital. Chapter 21. The doctor said my body was already weak, and after everything I'd been through emotionally, I was at my limit. If I didn't start taking care of myself properly, my health would collapse completely. Once your energy is drained like that, it takes a long time and a lot of effort to recover. Camila tried to comfort me. You're what matters most. If Sophia thinks it's better over there, then let her go. Being single is freedom. She doesn't have kids. She doesn't understand what a mother feels. But she said that out of care for me, so I didn't explain. I just nodded. In the days that followed, I forced myself not to think about Sophia and focused on getting well. Before the court hearing, there was a mediation session. Neither Eric nor I agreed to the other's terms, so it failed. Then came the court date. Eric showed up with Sophia and his parents. I saw someone else in the car too. It was Diana. She didn't get out. From a distance, Sophia waved at me. Mommy! Eric looked annoyed. He handed Sophia off to his mother and walked toward me. If you admit defeat now, I'm still willing to stay married. I gave him a smile and looked past him at Sophia. My voice was calmer than ever. You've already taken Sophia. Why should I surrender? Eric, you're filthy. You don't deserve to share the rest of my life. Eric's temper had worsened lately. Just a few words set him off. His father had to drag him away before he made a scene. Chapter 22. The court session was long and dull. The calmer I was, the more agitated Eric became. Partway through, his side requested a break. Eric came over to speak with me. Lisa, we've been together almost 10 years. Do we really have to rip everything apart? I stared at him coldly. You cheated first. He frowned. I admit I messed up, but for Sophia's sake, can't we meet halfway? Then he pulled something from his pocket, our wedding ring, the one I'd left behind when I moved out. He held it up in front of me. Lisa, I know you still love me. Give me another chance. The diamond sparkled under the lights. I used to think that sparkle meant happiness, but it turns out even light can blind. I don't take back things I've thrown away. Eric quickly replied. Then I'll buy you a new one, bigger, more carats. I looked straight into his eyes. Eric, what I threw away wasn't the ring, it was you. Chapter 23. Because I had solid evidence of Eric's infidelity, and I'd notarized all jointly owned marital assets. Even if he tried to transfer them, it would be invalid. What I was entitled to, not a cent less. The only difficult part was Sophia's custody. We couldn't agree no matter how hard we tried. In the end, the judge had no choice but to ask Sophia directly. After what happened last time, I honestly didn't hold much hope. My lawyer had already warned me that the judge would respect the child's wishes. Even if Sophia chose Eric, I wouldn't blame her. A child so young would naturally choose whatever feels familiar and safe. I'd always be her mother, and I'd always love her. But to everyone's surprise, when the judge asked Sophia who she wanted to live with, she chose me, firmly. She even explained why she had stayed with Eric these past weeks. Mommy was sick, and there was no one to take care of her. Just her by herself. If I went back, she'd have to cook for me too. That's too hard for Mommy. Now Mommy's better. I want to be with her again. I love Mommy. She spoke in one long breath. Though she paused a few times, she clearly and completely expressed herself. She must have practiced this over and over before today. Then she turned to me. Mommy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you sad that day. I just didn't want you to take care of me while you were sick. I missed you so much. By the end, she was crying, and so was I. In that courtroom, aside from our sobbing, no one else made a sound. Chapter 24. In the end, I was granted full custody of Sophia. For some reason, Eric didn't contest it. He disappeared for a while. When he returned, he looked gaunt, almost sickly. I glanced behind him. He gave a bitter smile. No need to look. I'm alone. It's not your visitation day. He nodded. I know. I came to see you. What is it? He handed me a folder. Inside were property documents and a notarized will. I don't have much time left. These things, they're all for Sophia. I stared at him, stunned. Eric rubbed the back of his head, his voice low. Stomach cancer, just diagnosed, but it's already advanced. The doctor said if they'd found it 6 months earlier, it might have been treatable. It's karma, I guess. You know our company does annual health checks, but last year, I skipped it, went abroad with Diana. I remembered. Back then, he told me it was a business trip. Turns out, just another lie to cover up his affair. Later I reminded him a few times to go. He kept stalling. And after I found out about the cheating, I stopped caring. And Diana? I asked. Eric gave a bitter laugh. I'm dying. You think she'd stick around? She already ran off with someone else. But she got unlucky. We ran into each other later. She thought I was going to hit her, tried to run and fell down the stairs at the mall, wrecked her face. Diana had cosmetic surgery before. A fall like that left her permanently disfigured. Eric kept rambling, but I wasn't listening anymore. My mind was stuck on one thing he said. I don't have much time left. Chapter 25. Even though I hated Eric, he was still Sophia's father. I didn't want him to die so soon. The sudden news left me completely stunned. I didn't even know how to react. Eric looked at me for a while, then asked carefully, "Can I spend the rest of my time with you and Sophia?" "It won't be long," the doctor said, half a year at most, just 6 months. "I want to be with you and Sophia again, Lisa." "I'm sorry." That apology probably came from the heart. But unfortunately, the sincerity of a dying man comes just a little too late. If Eric hadn't gotten a terminal illness, if Diana hadn't left him, he likely would have never turned around and said sorry. When he betrayed me, did he ever once think how deeply he was hurting me? 10 years, and now just one sorry. How could that possibly make it right? "Eric, I'm listening," he said. "These past 10 years, I loved you deeply, wholeheartedly, without holding anything back. I know, but that version of Lisa, you killed her. The woman standing here now lives for herself. Do you understand?" Eric nodded, and then he started to cry. At first, it was silent tears, then it turned into loud sobbing, for one brief second. I felt a pang of sympathy, just that 1 second. That second was the funeral I held for our 10 years together. Then I said calmly, "If you want to spend more time with Sophia, I can arrange that. Anything beyond that, I can't give you." I glanced at the time. Sophia's about to get out of school. I need to go pick her up. Eric could only nod. He couldn't say a word. Outside the cafe, there was a row of rose bushes. Some had withered. Some still bloomed proudly in the wind. Flowers don't get to choose, but people do. Don't be a withered rose. Be forever burning and awake. Epilogue. On the day Eric died, his parents didn't inform me or Sophia. As per his final wishes, Sophia was still too young. Watching her father die could have left deep trauma. As for me, Eric believed I wouldn't want to see him. He was also afraid I'd ignore the notice even if he sent one. So, he chose not to. At the very end, his conscience kicked in. Later, his mother came to see me and told me. Eric went to that street across from Sophia's kindergarten every day. When he couldn't walk anymore, his father pushed him there in a wheelchair. I knew. I noticed him the first day he appeared across the street. I used to drive up to the school gates, pick up Sophia, and leave. But later, I started parking around the corner and walking a bit with her. Sophia once asked, "Mommy, are we walking to exercise?" I didn't tell her. It was so her father could see her a little longer. As a husband or a father, Eric had failed, but he was dying, and as long as he didn't disturb us, I could allow him to see Sophia a few more times. The more he saw her, the more reluctant he must have felt to let go. Maybe then he finally understood why I fell seriously ill when he took Sophia away and hid her from me. Unfortunately, he understood too late. Before his mother left, she asked me, "Do you still hate Eric?" He gave up treatment early to leave everything for Sophia. The rest of his days, he lived on painkillers. As parents, you should understand how painful it was to watch your child suffer like that. Inch by inch, until death. I understood. But it didn't matter. If I had been their daughter, would they have felt pain when Eric hurt me like that? Even with my own parents, I no longer stayed in close contact with them. There was even less reason to. If you want to see Sophia, I won't stop you. That was my final act of kindness. Epilogue 2. A year after Eric's death, I received a gift and a letter. The gift was our wedding ring, the one I had left behind. The letter was simple. "Lisa, I'm sorry to bother you again, but this will be the last time. I wanted to send gifts every year for you and Sophia, but that wouldn't be fair. A man like me shouldn't continue to show up in your lives after death. From now on, please help me give Sophia gifts on her birthday and other special occasions. I wish you both peace and joy." Before the word wish, there were several faint marks. He must have wanted to say more when he wrote it. But in the end, he didn't. He probably didn't want us to forget him. But sadly, my memory of him has already started to fade. Sophia misses him occasionally, but since they had already been apart for the past 2 years, her longing isn't so strong. After everything, the custody battle, the arguments, Sophia knew things had long since broken down between us. She loves me, so she instinctively distances herself from those who've hurt me. One day, I made time to visit the cemetery. I placed the ring Eric had sent me on his tombstone, in the black and white photo. He smiled just like he did when we first met. Young, full of ambition, with light in his eyes. He was once someone I loved. Once, I knelt and placed a blooming rose beside the stone, then whispered a final goodbye. Eric, farewell. Love and hate both end here.